Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to continue with our Connect Flash setup and we will finish a large part of it because it is not very complex, right? Alright, so let's just start with it. And before I begin with how we are going to do it, I'm going to tell you why we are going to do it that way, right? Because in the last video, I had said a lot of words that we'll have to transfer thing between files and blah, 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 a lot of things. But it is actually not very clear until you see exactly what I'm saying once, right? So let's run over what options we would have to display such messages up here, up there, right? So what we could do, one, let's visit some routes, right? So we could like add something to rec. First of all, let's see what we would do without Connect Flash. So here we are doing if error console.log error. And what other thing we could do is that we could like redirect to somewhere and then we could pass in a message. So redirect we're gonna do anyway. So let's see what I'm talking about here. So we're doing blog.find error data. So if error console.log error and res.redirect back, right? So what we could do is we could pass in a message in here saying that some error occurred, right? And then when I'm going back, I could like, first of all, back would not work here because we'll have to put like an H1. So let's say I want to display this as an H1. I'll have to put an H1 on every page where this message would be displayed, right? So there are a couple of problems here. First of all, you can see how many pages we have. So it does not make sense to add an H1 in each of them all the time. Second, then like if we are passing a message, then we'll have to pass a message here too because blog/index is expecting something known as a message because we have put an h1 inside of it, right? So we could pass an empty message here or we could pass an error message here at some point. So we'll have to like handle that really in a very messy way, right? You could do it, but it will turn out really weird, right? That's not what we want. Or the similar thing would happen if we would like add. So how you add a message is, we'll see this in a little detail later too. So let's say I add a message like this, right? And then I do, let's say, right? So here now I can pass, so I can pass rec.flash error and that will give me the message that I'm aiming to display, right? So basically this could be empty if no error is there, or this could be non-empty if some error has been added like this, right? But again, the thing is you will have to add an h1 or something to every page in your whole file. And that is definitely not something that we want to do, right? We do not want to keep on adding things to every page that we have. So what I am aiming for here is that, which is a much cleaner and everyone here will agree, I think, a much better solution, that I'm just going to keep on adding errors like this, right? So let me just explain this line first. So inside you can consider rec.flash to be a dictionary, right? And what's happening is when we are doing rec.flash error, comma, this, right? Then what's happening is inside that dictionary, a key value pair is kind of added, right? To understand this, you could see it this way. It says error, some error occurred. And error I've written only because it is a logical name for something like this. But of course, this could be anything. This could be ABCD, and then this would be known as ABCD, right? So this is how rec.flash basically works. And then if you want to access this, you can just simply write rec.flash error and you can end it here, right? You can keep everything up other than this out of the question. So this will give you the value of the error key. So if we had what we had earlier, so if I have error and then I had what is that? Some error occurred, right? So this would give you back the string some error occurred, right? So you could access it like that. And one more last thing that I want to say about why rec.flash is really preferred is that if you are passing a message in here, a hard-coded message in here, then you are basically like sending that message permanently. So even if you refresh your page, that message remains there because you have not called the whole route again, right? So if the error persists. So what you want to basically do in here is that you want to just display this message for once. So let's say when you redirect it to login, you want to display that message. So let's say it was you are not authorized to do that was the message. You want to display that once, and when you refresh, you want it to vanish, right? That's what you must have seen in almost every site. So that is actually can be done through rec.flash, right? So basically how rec.flash works is, I'll put some comments in here and then I'll delete them. So rec.flash, how it works is you add an error, add a message, right? A message. That message is stored only for the next render. So what I mean by this is, let's say we are doing something like these are the pages that we are visiting. First we visit the login page, then we visit the register page, then we visit the add post, then we visit home, then we visit explore, then we visit add comment, right? So what will happen is, if we add an error at this particular point at add post, right, then it will be displayed in home only, and if you refresh this page again, even then it will vanish, because refreshing means you are rendering the whole page again, right? And the lifespan of a flash message is only one render, right? Not more than that. It can never be more than one render, right? And that one render is directly the next render of when we are adding the message. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm not talking about here, but what I'm saying is, if you do rec.flash and you add some error here, right? So if you do this and then you do res.render login, so this error can be used in login, but as soon as you refresh this page or you move to some other page, this error will no longer be there, right? You'll see this when we actually implement this, but I wanted to list this out as an advantage of Flash, right? So again, you will see this later too, but yeah. So this is how you could access an error inside of Flash. Now a lot of words there, and I know this is not clear, but just wait for some minutes and you will become extremely clear with how Flash works, right? So what we are basically going to do is, we are first going to add errors before in every if error statement that we've done here, right? So here is this console.logging error. So what I can do is rec.flash error. So whenever there's an error, we will add it with the key of error, and wherever there's something that's a success, we'll add it with a key of success, right? So rec.flash error, and then inside here what we will do is, alright, so the message will be, so if we are finding a blog and that's giving us an error, so that's always an error on Mongo's part, right? Otherwise we would get like a syntax error or something, but like if we're getting an error, we don't want to display this Mongo error to the user. All we want to say is some error occurred, right? And we'll say please try again later. Great. So this should ideally be the error when we are doing this, right? Great. Next, if we are in this and we are going to /blog/new, we don't need to display any error messages. Great. If we are inside /blog/id and we are printing everything out, we don't need to display any messages. Like we were not rendering, we don't want to do anything when we are rendering this specifically, right? And now this is an edit route. We don't want to display anything in this too. You will see what I'm talking about. So when we are in the post routers, right? So when we have added the blog and it has been logged to the console, means our blog has been created successfully. So what we can do now is we can do rec.flash success added blog successfully, right? So we have now added one thing successfully, and what will happen is Flash is not added on redirect, right? So this will redirect to /blogs. This is still persisting in memory, right? We go here, great. We do everything. This res.render happens, and that is when this Flash comes into memory and we can actually use it. So inside this blog/index, this will be accessible, right? Great. And before we proceed further, we'll just do this blogs routes once, and we'll see how they actually look on our page, and then we'll add the errors in comments and index too. So currently I'm here, and if there's an error, what we want to do is, so again, this is a Mongo error. So what we need to do if something like this is happening is we need to do rec.flash error something went wrong, please try again later, and then I'll just do res.redirect back. And again, so in the update route, what we need to do is if there's an error, then we're redirecting to this /blog/id/edit, right? But what we want to do with this is we need to do rec.flash something, this will be error something went wrong, please try again, right? Or if no error is found and we have updated the blog successfully, then what we need to do is rec.flash success updated blog successfully. Excellent. So we have added the flashes in this too. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just adding logical messages that we need to display, and we have not actually seen how we are going to display them yet. But currently all I'm doing is I'm adding logical messages before each error and each success, right? And in here, if again, so we'll have to copy this line. Right? And if we are redirecting to /blogs, meaning our blog has been deleted, then we have to do rec.flash success deleted blog. Great. So now inside our blogs routes, we have successfully added rec.flash wherever we should ideally have it, right? And now let's see what will actually happen. So we should also add that in here, right? In is logged into. So if is currently logged in, we don't need to display anything. And if is not logged in, we should do rec.flash error please log in first, right? We need to display this if the user is not logged in something that he needs to be logged in, right? And here what we need to do is if he's authenticated, if we are doing return next, then we just have to allow him to pass. Else, instead of alert, what I'll do is I'll do rec.flash, and this will be error not authorized, right? So now this will be added as a rec.flash message, and we will redirect to back. Else we'll do rec.flash error. And so this basically we could have run into any error here. So currently I'm just going to do error Or we could like do like when we have an error in here, right? And we want to display the exact thing. So what we can do is we can do error dot. So basically, this error, we've always used it to check if error, right? We've done if error, and that's almost that's why it's used a lot of the times. But this is actually an object, and it contains a user-friendly error message inside it, which is under the key of message, right? Then we are console.logging error, and then we have to do res.redirect back, right? And in here again we are doing console.log, not logged in. So what we have to do here is we have to say rec.flash error, please log in first. So now inside our blogs we have added the rec.flash messages where they should ideally be. And now let's work on displaying them, right? So first of all, if we want to display something in everything, then there's one obvious solution that we could think of, and that is add that in the header. Simple, because header is included everywhere, and if there's an error message in the header, we don't have to worry about it anywhere else, right? So let's first just do that, and I'll do. So inside here, I'll first add a container because I don't want my message to take up the whole space. And now I have to print the error out, right? So for that, I'm going to use this bootstrap alert, right? So this is pre-made, everything is pre-made. And all we have to do is we have to copy this one line. So this is a primary alert. What we are looking for is a danger alert, right? So I just copy this. I go in here, I paste this, and all right. So now we can just make this. We'll make this EJS, right? So this is EJS, and there's one more thing we need to do before we do this. So instead of using rec.flash everywhere, because as you can imagine, we do not have the rec here, right? There's no rec here. So how do we use it? So we can use it just like we were using the current user, right? So we made it a locals.current user is equal to rec.user, right? Then what I'm going to do is a similar thing, res.locals.error is equal to rec.flash error. So by this, we have done that this rec.flash error can be accessed inside this variable, inside anywhere in this whole file structure, right? And similarly, we can do for success. So res.locals.success is equal to rec.flash success, right? And now what we can do in here is we can do error, right? So what that will basically do is it will print the error out to the console, right? And error is actually a reserved word, so I'll do error message, right? And we'll do success message, error message. And of course, error message will not always be present there. So what I have to do is I have to do if, again, this will go inside EJS, if error message, then print all of this. Right? And similarly, we can do if success message, then we have to print the success message out. And you can see for the success, we are going to use the success alert, and in that we have to do alert success instead of alert danger. So I'll do alert success. Great. So now we have added our error and success messages in the header, and we can simply use it, right? So let's unindent this because this should not be indented. All right, great. So now let's visit our Blogify and see all of this, if all of this is working. So if you remember, this was working if alright. So this is actually a silly error. I've done app.useFlash after I've used rec.flash. So that will obviously give me an error. So I'll move this up and now I'll refresh. And now you can see I'm up here. So currently everything is being displayed. We do not want this to happen. So what I'm going to do is if error message. So this is not actually null. This is just an empty string. So I'll do if not equal to an empty string. And similarly, I'll do if not equal to empty string. Refresh. And you can see now I don't have my messages here yet. So what I could do is I could go to add post. And you can see it tells me to please log in first, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. And let's say I do something like, so login does not have the rec.flash added yet. So let's just first log in from something, let's say Rondo, and I'll do password, I'll do login, and we are not allowed to edit the blog as long as we are not the authorized user. So actually we are the authorized user here. So let's log out and we'll do Rondo1, password is password. I think I've done the wrong thing, right? I'll go to read more. So currently I'm not authorized to edit this. And if I go to /edit, it says not authorized and it redirects me to the page that I was previously on, right? And the styling honestly could be a little better, but we don't actually want to display this on the home page. And the home page is the only place that this will not look good on, because we have done a separate kind of padding and we've added a jumbotron. So the thing is, we do not want to add it to the home page, and the only way we can do that is we do not direct to the home page, which is anyway something that we should keep in mind, that redirecting to the home of your website is not a very good user experience. I might have done that in just while just doing some weird things. I might not have paid attention to this, but redirecting to the home page is never a good idea. So I'll fix that by myself, later out of the video, and I'll push the code to GitHub. You can have it from there, the code sharing site, and you can also try to remove all the res.redirect homes, right? But the point is, you see how we are getting the messages as we should have got them, right? And let's just add a post this time, because we have also added a method to that. I'll do login. I'll go to add post. Title will be testing flash. This, and image URL. Let's just leave it. We can't leave it blank for now. We haven't handled that. So I'll go to unsplash.com. Take this one, copy email address, go to Blogify, paste it in, add post, added blog successfully. So wherever we have a jumbotron, this is actually not looking very good. And the reason that is happening is that it should be added below the jumbotron, right? Or probably on the jumbotron. So that is a styling thing that we could look at later. Currently what I wanted to show you was that it is showing up, and as soon as I refreshed, it went away. Similarly, if I go to add post and I refresh, it goes away, right? So it only shows up for one time. That's what I was talking about, right? So we have added the flash messages in the blogs. Similarly, we could add it in the comments too. Let's go there. So for that, I'll have to go into routes, comments.js, and let's just do that real quick. So if you go into /comment/new, this is through is logged in. That will be handled later. And posting a comment, this will be handled later too. So, but if our post has been done, if our comment has been done, then what we need to do is we need to do rec.flash success added comment. Great. And let's add the error messages up here too. Let's do rec.flash error. Something went wrong, because we do not want to display the Mongo's error messages to the user. That's not what we want. And res.redirect back. Great. And inside here in the error too, so one thing I can do is, alright, I'll not do that because that feature is not present in Google. So I can do rec.flash error. Something went wrong. Similarly, I can do that here. So you could do this by yourself too, and then come back to the video, because watching me do it is obviously not something that we want. I mean, wherever we have just if error console.log error, we have to add this line and a res.redirect back, right? That's all that we need to do in this. But if you want to follow along and see that you do not miss anything, then you can do that too, right? So we've added that here too. So, and we've also added a success message. If our comment has been added successfully. In delete too, I can add a success message saying success deleted comment successfully. And if there's an error, we have to handle that too. We have to do rec.flash error, something went wrong. Great. And now for the middlewares, if we are authenticated, then we can go forward. If we are not authenticated, then we can do rec.flash error, please log in first. Great. And in the is owner, we'll have to do, so if he is not authenticated, then we have to do rec.flash error, please log in first. And now in here, if he is logged in and he's the owner, we'll allow him to pass. Else, if he's not the owner, we'll change this to rec.flash error, not authorized, res.redirect back. And again, if there's an error here, I'll leave this here, right? Because this is also a Mongo error. Okay, so let's do something so that the user actually has something to see. Error, something went wrong, and I have to do res.redirect back. So now our comment errors have been added successfully too. Let's just test them out once. I'll go to this post, and one thing that you see that the cards are of different length. So one fix that you could have to that is you could fix the card length, and then you could tell the user to enter only landscape images, right? All right. And now if I click, you can see I'm not logged in. If I click on add a comment, it says please log in first. Let's log in. Log in, read more, add a comment. This makes sense because he's adding a comment to his own post, right? Added comment. So now you can see how this all is working out, right? Excellent. And we can like refresh and it goes away. Great. So now the comment flashes have been added successfully too. You could check all of them one by one if you want to. I've just shown you one or two, but of course everything is working. So now in here we have some routes too. So slash, we don't have to print anything. Once we're doing login, we have to do, we don't have to do anything. And register, don't have to do anything. In logout, we can do rec.flash success logged out successfully. Great. So let's first test it out and see if this is working. I'll log in. Rondo, password, login, logout, logged out successfully. And there's some padding issues. I'm repeating that again and again, but we can fix that later, right? All right. And so in the post register, this is where we're redirecting to blogs, right? So we'll have to do rec.flash success, and we'll do welcome to Blogify. All right. And we could like also do like plus rec.user.username. This should work, right? And here, if we have an error, I'll do rec.flash error. Something went wrong. Please try again. Excellent. And that's all that we need to do. So let's try a register now. I'll refresh. I'll go to register. I have John Doe 4. Password will be password. I will log in. It says welcome to Blogify John Doe 4. Excellent. And in the post login, actually here you can see we are not doing res.redirect by ourselves. So this is not very similar to all of them. This is actually a little different, and what we have to do is here, we have to do failure flash, right? So this is something that Passport gives us, and we can add it to be could not log in, try again. And we can similarly do success flash, logged in successfully. Or we could like do something more user friendly. Welcome back. Refresh. I'll go to login. John Doe 4. Password. Welcome back, right? So this is how the login is working too, right? So these are the two fields that you can have in passport.authenticate, because we do not have in /login post, right? All right, so now we have finished our error handling too, and congratulations, we have finished every major thing in Blogify app. There are just one or two small things that we need to fix that I showed you in my Trello too once, and once that's done, we will be done with Blogify, and then we'll just simply see Git and how to actually move this to an online URL. We don't want to run this on localhost 3000 forever. We want to push this to a URL, right? The user should be able to do www.something.com, and he should be able to visit Blogify. So that's one of the things that's left, and the other is Git, which is something different from this. And after that, you'll just have to do your major project, and then you'll be done with the course, right? So congratulations, and that's it for this video.